I'm Ashley, and it is
Weave It Up Wednesday.
So just going to share with you our tips. We've both been getting weaves, getting our hair pressed out for years since you were a kid.
Yep.
So we're going to teach you some of the tricks and the trades that we've learned along. Some of these things you may have already learned yourself, and some of these things may be new. So let's get started. So tip number 1. The key to a good weave starts with a good foundation. Meaning your hair needs to be healthy. You need to wash it, blow your hair dry, deep condition it. You always want to moisturize your scalp, your braidings, like in between your braids or whatever, before you get your weave on. Because just because you get your weave doesn't mean that you don't take care of your natural hair. A weave is supposed to be a protective style, meaning that when you take the weave out, it's supposed to promote growth. It's supposed to, make your hair grow longer. It's supposed to be intact. It's not supposed to tear your hair out. So a great weave starts with a healthy foundation, which starts with healthy hair.
Every time I get my hair done, especially if it's been some time since the last time I got my hair done, you have to make sure you're getting a trim, because once you get your hair braided, and let's say you have like a nice length of hair, if you're not getting a trim, all it's going to do is split up to the root and you're not going to have no hair. So the whole point of a weave is it's a protective style. So you want to make sure that you are keeping up on your trims. Now, I'm not saying you want to go to someone who's scissor happy, but you need to just be you need to cut what needs to be cut. You need to get a trim.
I always tell my stylists, like, cut the bare minimum. Whatever needs to be cut and trimmed, just cut that off. Because I ain't gonna lie, some styles get scissor happy. You start out with your hair down here,
and they
bring it up here. Oh, it was damaged. Really?
No,
I
don't remember.
See it damaged before I came in here. So what did you do to my hair? I be wanting to just sweep the hair up off the floor, like, no, put it back. Oh yeah, definitely get that trim. I know it's hard, but your hair, when it's gonna be in a weave, you're gonna keep it in for minimum of 6 weeks, maximum of 3 months. So 12 weeks. But your hair is going to grow a lot during that period. So you want to make sure that your hair is being taken care of, like, under it. So you want to trim it. Your hair is going to grow about 1.5 to 2 inches during that period. So even though it looks like she's cutting off 1 inch, you really grew 1 inch of healthy hair. So congratulate yourself. All right. Good hair or good weave starts with great hair, a good foundation. So you got to take care of your real hair. Tip number 2. Those braids, girl. So when you get your hair braided down, depending on your stylist, she may do your braids a little bit bigger, she may do them smaller, but whatever she does to your hair, those braids should not be super tight. For instance, if your hair looks like this after it's been braided, show the clip. Do you see how her hair looked? It was so tight. All that tension and pulling at the edges.
And buckling, like
the ripples in the scalp. Like you should not have to take ibuprofen 2 hours before you go to get your hair done, because it's going to be so tight. Contrary to popular belief, it should not hurt when you get your hair braided. I don't care if you're tender-headed or not. It should not hurt. I've been to stylists where it feels like they're putting literal stitches in my scalp, and it's so freaking tight. Then I've been to other stylists, shout out to Mariah at Hair by Kanae, where she's braiding my hair down. I don't feel a thing, and then I check my braids out afterwards, and it's fabulous. It's not rippled, it's not super tight. It looks amazing, and that's how it should look. Because I started to be vocal, like, if those braids are too tight, I'll be looking like, yo, this is tight, you won't have to take it out, this, that, and the other. And I've had stylists get smart with me, or get a little too with me. Well, if you can't handle the braids, then I can't do your hair. Girl, bye, because you're not claiming my edges today, ma'am, okay? Goodbye. So, like, that's what I've been having to do. Like, most of the time they're nice and they'll redo it and they'll lighten it up. But the point of your braids, like, is basically supposed to be the foundation for your weave, but they're not supposed to be super tight that they're uncomfortable, they're rippling, your hair can't breathe, because what'll happen is that your hair won't breathe, your hair won't grow.
Yeah.
And what's gonna happen is when you take those braids, it's gonna be in shock, and when you take those braids out, your hair is going to come out with it. It's going to fall out. And not see your hairline receding when you cute and you 20 and you 23, but you gonna wake up when you 50 and your hairline is gonna be back here. It's gonna be disappeared. Like you better take a picture now, because that's gonna be the last time you see those edges if you get your hair braided too tight. Yeah. So, moral of the story is this: if it's too tight, it ain't right. Get them redone. Like, your braid should not be that tight. And some of y'all girls go to these shops, and you know what shops I'm talking to, girl. You know what shops I'm talking about, girl. You know what they are, where they braid literally every hair follicle, and your hairline starts right on your forehead, and it's so tight you can't even move your neck. Like, you know what I
have a widow's peak, and I hate when they braid my widow's peak when I would get like individuals and micro braids and things like that, because all it's gonna do is it's gonna fall out. Like, it's too tight.
Your braids should not be that tight, and if your stylist is braiding your hair that tight, you need to speak up and be like, girl, it's too tight. I want my edges. Do you love yourself? Don't get your braids that tight, girl. It's not cute. Because I be seeing girls with their hair that tight, like, ooh, look at my hair. Look what my stylist did. Ooh, let me give her your number. Let me give you her number. You can call her. I don't want her number. Let me give you the number to a dermatologist, because you are going to need some ointment, because you're about to get some bumps in your head. It's going to be red. Like, you're going to need some Neosporin for that. Like, and for real.
That
it's not
cute. Happened to me. I have gotten my hair done, and it was so tight that my scalp started to turn red. I started to get bumps in my scalp, and I took my hair out like 3 days later, because I couldn't take it. And I was on vacation. That was one of the reasons why I was just like, you know what, let me just try to fight through it, because I'm not trying to be at the beach with my natural hair out. So as soon as I got home from the beach, them crochet braids came out, because I could not go to work with my hair just so tight. Like, usually, and even though Ashley just kind of talked about it, you know, I'm used to going, my hair will be tight for like 2 or 3 days, and then after that, it'll start to die down. It shouldn't be tight those first 2 to 3 days. For example, I just got this reinstalled today. I can't feel nothing. Right. I don't feel nothing. Like,
it's great.
I can put my hair up in a ponytail. I can't feel nothing. Like,
it's so great. It's
my hair, I feel like it's breathing.
Like clouds open, the sun comes out, angels sing, and your hair's great. Yeah. Like, that is what happens when you get a great weave. It doesn't have to be tight. Tip number 2, if it's too tight, it ain't right, boo-boo. Okay, you're gonna lose them edges, okay? All right.
You want your edges?
Yeah, you
don't get tight braids.
You want your hairline in the middle of your head when you're 60, just ask yourself that. Okay? Gotta make good choices, ladies. Good choices. Tip number 3. Now, there is a duration of when, you put your weave in. So at minimum, it's 6 to 8 weeks. If you have good hair and you're going in for maintenance every 2 to 3 weeks to get your hair washed, you gotta sit under that dryer for an hour, girl. I know, it's like, ooh, you don't feel like being in that heat for that long. I know, girl. But you go there, you sit under that dryer, you get it washed, and you blow it dry. She'll style it for you. But if you are keeping it in longer, then it's like maximum 3 to 4 months, maybe. And when you go in, they'll tighten it too for you. So you should go through that process. Don't just get a weave and then like not do anything with it and just let it come out. I've heard rumors where girls have kept weaves in for like 6 months. They'll go in there and their weave is like literally hanging off their head.
And then they have all of this
nasty growth.
Nasty growth, and then all the shedding, and then they want to be like, oh my god, my hair. Like,
I can't get a weave because
6 months.
Any girl that tells me,
did you wash your hair during that 6 months?
Right. Any girl that comes to me and says, oh, I don't get weaves now, no more because they broke my hair off. Like, I take with a grain of salt because either them braids was too tight or you did not take care of your hair, period. Because like we said, a weave is supposed to be a protective style. So if you are taking your hair out and your hair is falling out, somebody did something wrong. Don't blame the weave, blame you, boo-boo.
You have care of your hair, and that's the thing. Like, I think people think, oh, I'm gonna pay $300 for this bundle hair, and it's just gonna be immaculate for 3 months, or it's gonna be you walked out of the salon.
Like,
for 3
I don't gotta
months.
do no work.
No,
I can
that's
lay
not how
on
it
there.
works.
I don't gotta, like, they don't, like, when you get a weave, treat that weave like it's your real hair. Your real hair is still under there, so you still gotta, wash it, blow it dry. You still gotta put oil on your scalp.
You do.
So you have to take care of your hair. So that is tip number 3. Keep up with your maintenance with your weave and know how long you plan to keep it in, but you should not go more than 3 months, girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So tip number 4. Number 4. That was 8. You did like this. That's 8. You don't know how to count?
4 in each hand.
Okay. No. It's just 4. You could do 2, like 4, but like, can you count? How are you in medical billing and you can't count fingers? Okay. Anyway.
All right.
Tip number 4. Basically, when you go to a stylist, they've been educated in hair care. More than likely, they have their license or whatever. So they should be helping you to take care of your hair. So that means sometimes you got to take some tough criticism. Sometimes you are going to have to do things you don't want to do, like trim your hair. But then it also means that, like, if your stylist isn't helping you to take care of your natural hair and just taking your money, like, it's time for you to find a new stylist. Like, if you don't have no edges and your stylist is saying, like, yo, like, you need to take a break, like, ooh, like, let me help you, take care of your hair, then maybe you shouldn't get this sewing today because you got a lot of breakage, you need to get a break. Then you probably need to start looking at other places, like, because take care of your natural hair, and your stylist should be helping you to do that. And that happened to me before. Like, when I used to have my hair cut short, I was getting relaxers every 3 weeks because my hair was super short, but my hair started getting really, really fine over time. And I went to my stylist and I wanted to put a relaxer in, and she wouldn't. She was like, look, you don't need a relaxer right now. It's silky straight. But I was like, look, I've been getting a relaxer every 3 weeks for the. She's like, girl, like, if I give you this relaxer, your hair is going to fall out. So she did a test strand, and that shit, she did a test strand. She did a test strand, and that thing just was like, whoop, came right off like it was butter. It was like, whoop. And I was like, I'm glad I listened to her. So, like, definitely listen to your stylist when it comes to, like, your natural hair care. And, you have to be open to feedback. And sometimes it may be, like, something that you may not want to hear. So, what about you? You have anything to share about that topic? You're a little silent over there. You all right? You okay?
I'm a little tired. I don't know why. Y'all see, I keep yawning.
Oh, wow. Am I boring you?
Kind of. No, I'm messing with you. So, tip number 5.
You can't count.
I just wanted to put both my hands up.
No.
Anyway.
You confusing people.
Anyway, tip number 5. So, the way you guys are bonding down your wigs, so the got to be glue and the different glues that people are using on their
Gorilla
wig.
snot.
The gorilla snot. Yeah, like, so.
The thing with that is that you see a lot of YouTubers, you see a lot of people use the got to be glue to glue down their lace front, but you have to understand, like, that adhesive on your edges, again, you don't see your hairline going back a little millimeter at a time until you're 50 and it's in the middle of your head and it's really noticeable. But you have to understand that when you do that, like, your hair still can't breathe. I know you're putting it, like, right before your headline, but it's not a lot of space between that and your hairline. And then that wig is sitting on top of your hairline, pretty much. So at the end of the day, your hair needs to breathe.
It does.
So if you're gonna be wearing a wig or a lace front, like, definitely, like,
the elastic band method. That's what, when the wigs I've always worn, I always do the elastic band method, because at the end of the day, I don't want, our thing in life to me would be to lose my edges. I do not want to lose my edges.
You be praying to God, like.
Yeah, I would say don't even use it. use the elastic band method. And I've seen other videos on YouTube about people who had like bad experiences with the Got to Be glue, where it gets like infected on their scalp, or they get like discoloration from letting it sit. Because who wears wigs in the summer like with that glue on? Like, you got this hot piece of hair just sitting on your hairline. You sweating and stuff, and like, of course, like it's tanning. Like, of course, your skin's gonna freaking have a different color.
My suggestion is, if you're gonna use those types of gel, please don't keep it on or reapply after a week. Like, give yourself
I wouldn't even
break.
do a week. Like, if you have a nice night out and you just want to make sure it's not gonna go nowhere, okay, 1 or 2 nights, but a whole week with something just sitting on.
I've gotten away from that. I either use the rubber band method, or I'm sewing it down and helping it to like blend. And I'm using like some air control to kind of blend in the front, because I gotta be ready. Like, I don't want a cool breeze to go, or I don't know, somebody try me and my wig gets snatched. So I just like mine to be secure and like on there real good. So I don't even use the Got to Be glued. So, but it's your choice. But I just want to let y'all know what them consequences are now, because girls be sitting there like, where did my edges go?
To Got to Be glued.
Where did my edges go? Got to Be glued.
The wig.
Wigs, tight braids. That's where it went. You had like 40 years to get it right, and you just didn't. So
now you're here.
Right. So I feel bad for people, but as you can see, my edges are intact.
So just disclaimer again, we are just putting these tips out there for people, just stuff that we've seen over the years for me.
Just tips of the trade, things that we have learned along the years based on our experience. Now, it's not a one size fits all mold for hair. There's women who like use Got to Be glued or do their braids tights, and their hair is long and flowing. Now, there are very few of them, but I mean, if you want to take that chance, it's your hairline, girl.
I'm just saying, I'm 32. I want my hairline. I want my hairline at 50.
This is pretty. Mariah did a good job.
She did. I love it. So, I will be filming my update.
This hair is
later. Good, though. On my journey with this hair, but it's my second install, so I will keep on the lookout for that. I'm kind of tired, sorry y'all.
Alright, I'm ready for a nap.
Me too.
Alright, so you ladies have a great week. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel on YouTube and leave some comments, because I'll be looking, I'll be writing to read these comments to see what y'all think. What y'all think about them tips? Am I right or am I right?
Or is she wrong now? But yes, please comment below, give us your feedback. What y'all think about these tips? How do you feel? We love to know the feedback.
Follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
Yep.
So that concludes today. We will see you next time.